What if I told you that the most dangerous thing in Dune Awakening isn't the sandworms? No, it's not the heat, not the raiders, not even the PvP. It might just be the systems themselves, because Dune Awakening isn't just trying to build a survival MMO, it's trying to build a living ecosystem. One where power, politics, betrayal, economy, and yes, even your hydration meter all matter. But here's the question that really matters. Can a game this complex survive its own design? Or is Dune Awakening destined to collapse under its own spice-fueled ambition? Let's dive in. And if you're new here, hello, I'm Peter and I cover everything gaming. So what exactly is Dune Awakening? I mean, at first glance, it looks just like another survival crafting game. Think Rust or Ark with a fresh coat of sand. But behind the familiar gameplay loop, where you scavenge, craft, survive, it's a surprisingly layered MMO where server-wide politics, player-run economies, and faction betrayal are just as important as building your first water purifier. You start by creating a character and everything stays there. No loading screens, no instant jumps, just one huge map to explore by traveling. And yes, there are sandworms, big ones, hungry ones, but as we'll see later, they might just be the least of your worries. So here's where things get interesting. Unlike most MMOs, Dune Awakening lets you completely skip the main story right from the start. And I mean, literally skip it. I'll figure it out on my own. Levels of skipping. This is a huge design decision and one that's sparking debates across Reddit and Discord, because in a world like Dune, which thrives on dense lore like political intrigue and philosophical questions about fate and free will, why even offer the option to ignore this story? Fans are torn. Some say it's a genius way to appeal to survival vets who just want to explore and min-max. Others argue it kind of undermines the soul of the franchise, which begs a bigger question. Should MMOs force story, or should they just get out of your way? Actually, let's talk about bases. Yes, you can build, and it's more than just slapping down walls and roofs. Dune lets you create intricate bases, like you can save blueprints and even sell designs on the in-game auction house. But there's a catch. Actually, there's several. You can only have 3 active bases. Bases require fuel to keep their shields up. You pay in-game taxes every 2 weeks, and if your power runs out during a sandstorm, boom, your entire base is gone. This had led several players, it's given me anxiety, and a lot of players feel the same way too. It's basically a vacation to death. You take a break for too long and your base gets wiped. All your resources deleted, your loot blown away like dust on the dunes. Some survival fans say this is good. It keeps the economy stable and punishes AFK hoarders. Others call it pretty exhausting. So, here's a big question. Should a survival MMO punish players for taking time off? Or should it respect the, humans have jobs? Yeah, I don't know, it's a tough one. All right, let's talk spice, and by that I mean power, because one of Dune Awakening's most unique systems is the Landsraad, a political council where players' factions vote on server-wide laws. And yes, you heard that right. Guilds can win elections, guilds can pass decrees, guilds can literally turn on full loot, PvP for everyone. It's bold, it's immersive, it's New World meets Game of Thrones. But history has warned us. Games with player-run politics often, they literally just kind of turn into server domination. Just think of New World. This meant one color controlled everything. Even in EVE Online, entire alliances were built to grief newcomers. So, here's what everyone's wondering. Can Funcom balance power when players control the laws? Or will servers dissolve into chaos and bandwagoning? One faction to rule them all is what's gonna happen. Now, let's just talk about the giant worm in the room, death. In Dune Awakening, if a sandworm eats you, you lose everything in your backpack. And no, it's not a glitch. This is not Minecraft where you can keep inventory on. You literally lose everything. This isn't just kind of I feel like this is a test to your discipline. It's pretty crazy. Now, this mechanic alone has Reddit split in half. You got the one side where you got the pro-wormers, right? They're saying, it's Arrakis, death should be brutal. This makes every moment count. And then you have the anti-wormer saying, I just lost 3 hours of progress to RNG and that sucks. So who's exactly right? Is a full loot death kind of a throwback to old school survival, or is this kind of a mistake? I feel like it's kind of old school survival, but not really. That's kind of pretty strict, but you tell me. One thing for sure, You know, in a game where your loot literally walks away in a worm's stomach, every decision will count. So let's talk about the biggest issue. You know, for a universe that's all about knife duels, martial discipline, and personal combat, the combat kind of sucks. You know, you got multiple alpha testers that already pointed this out. They're saying melee attacks feel kind of floaty. I mean, there's no weight in the strikes, combat lacks impact and feedback. I mean, this is a big issue. And since many enemies are shielded, meaning guns don't work, you're forced into lackluster melee systems. So people are asking, how did a Dune game make swordplay feel so boring? And the worst part is, Funcom knows this, and there's no clear answer on whether it'll be fixed by launch. So I guess we'll find out early June. But you guys tell me what you think. Are you guys gonna play this game? Peace.